March 1953, Halona Cove, Oahu, Hawaii. Frank Sinatra's on the biggest film set of his life. From Here to Eternity, the movie that's supposed to save his dying career. He took an $8,000 paycheck for this role, worked for almost nothing, because he needed this comeback. Director Fred Zinnemann calls action, beach scene, waves crashing, extras playing soldiers and locals. Burt Lancaster and Deborah Kerr are filming their iconic kiss in the surf. The crew's setting up the next shot. Then someone screams. A young extra, Filipino kid, maybe 19, is in the water. 20 feet out, he's struggling. The waves are brutal today. 10-foot swells. The safety coordinator warned everyone. Stay close to shore. But the kid went too far, and now he's drowning. The crew freezes. Nobody moves, because the ocean's dangerous. The riptide's strong, and they're filming a movie, not running a rescue operation. Sinatra's standing on the beach, watching. The kid's head goes under, comes back up, goes under again. The assistant director yells, "Someone get a lifeguard." But the nearest lifeguard station is a mile down the beach. By the time they arrive, the kid will be gone. Sinatra looks at the crew. Nobody's moving. He looks at the kid, going under for the third time, and without a word, Sinatra drops his script, kicks off his shoes, and runs into the water. The crew starts yelling, "Frank, don't, the riptide." But he's already waist deep, then chest deep, then swimming. Here's the thing nobody knows about Frank Sinatra. He's not a strong swimmer. Never was. Grew up in Hoboken, New Jersey. No beaches, no pools. The only time he swam was in the Hudson River as a kid. Dirty water, barely stayed afloat. But he's swimming now, hard, fighting the waves. The current's pulling him sideways. He's not making progress, just getting dragged parallel to the shore. The kid's head goes under, doesn't come back up. Sinatra dives. 5 seconds, 10, 15. The crew's silent, watching, waiting. Then Sinatra breaks the surface, gasping. He's got the kid, arm around his chest. The kid's limp, not moving. Sinatra starts pulling him back, but the current's too strong. They're both stuck, 50 feet from shore. And Sinatra's exhausted. Director Fred Zinnemann's on the beach, screaming into a radio. "Get a boat. Get help. Now." But there's no boat, no help. Just Sinatra, and a drowning kid, and an ocean that doesn't care about either of them. Sinatra looks at the shore, looks at the kid, makes a decision. He stops fighting the current, lets it pull them sideways, diagonal, using the riptide instead of fighting it. Slowly, inch by inch, they drift toward calmer water. 2 minutes later, Sinatra's feet touch sand. He drags the kid onto the beach, collapses. The crew rushes over. Someone starts CPR. The kid coughs. Water pours out. He's breathing. Sinatra just lies there, face in the sand, chest heaving, and Fred Zinnemann stands over him, looking down at the man who just risked everything to save a stranger. "Frank, what the hell were you thinking?" Sinatra lifts his head. "I was thinking somebody had to do something." The medic arrives, checks the kid. He's stable, lucky. Another minute and he'd be gone. Sinatra's still on the ground, soaking wet, shivering, not from cold, from adrenaline crash. Fred Zinnemann kneels next to him. "Frank, you could have died." Sinatra looks at him. So could he. "That's not your job. We have safety protocols, lifeguards, insurance." "Yeah, where were they?" Zinnemann doesn't answer, because Frank's right. The protocols failed. The lifeguard wasn't there. And if Sinatra hadn't acted, that kid would be dead. The assistant director approaches, clipboard in hand. "Mr. Zinnemann, we need to know, are we shutting down production?" Zinnemann looks at the ocean, the crew, the schedule. They're already behind. The studio's breathing down his neck. Every day of delay costs thousands. Then he looks at Sinatra, still sitting in the sand, and makes a decision. "Yes, we're shutting down. For the day. Send everyone home. The assistant director's jaw drops. Sir, the studio? I don't care. One of our people almost died, and another one almost died saving him. We're not filming today. He turns to Sinatra. Go back to your hotel. Rest. We'll resume tomorrow. Sinatra stands, slowly. What about the kid? Ambulance is taking him to the hospital. He'll be fine. I want to go with him. Frank, you need to rest. I said I want to go with him. Zinnemann studies him, then nods. Okay. An hour later, Sinatra's at Queen's Medical Center in Honolulu, still in his wet clothes, sitting in the waiting room. The kid's in a room down the hall, doctors checking him, running tests. A nurse approaches. Mr. Sinatra, the young man is asking for you. Sinatra follows her. The kid's in a hospital bed, oxygen mask on, but awake, alert. Sinatra sits in the chair next to him. Hey kid, how you feeling? The kid pulls down his mask. You saved my life. You would have done the same. No, I wouldn't have. I can't even swim that well. I don't know why I went so far out. Because you're young, and young people do stupid things. Trust me, I know. The kid smiles, weak. Thank you. I don't know how to repay you. Sinatra stands. You don't owe me anything. Just promise me something. What? Learn to swim. Properly. Because next time, I might not be there. The kid nods. I promise. Sinatra walks to the door. Stops. What's your name? Miguel. Miguel Santos. Miguel, you're going to be okay. And when you get out of here, you come find me on set. I'll make sure you get your full pay, even though we didn't shoot today. Miguel's eyes fill with tears. Mr. Sinatra. It's Frank, and don't mention it. He leaves, walks out of the hospital, gets into a car, and for the first time since the rescue, he lets himself feel it. The fear, the exhaustion, the realization that he almost died today. But he doesn't regret it. Not for a second. Because saving Miguel's life reminded him of something he'd forgotten. That he's more than a singer, more than an actor, more than a comeback story. He's a man. And sometimes, being a man means doing the right thing. Even when it's dangerous. Even when it's stupid. Even when nobody's watching. The next morning, the story's everywhere. Sinatra saves drowning extra on Hawaii set. Newspapers, radio, every outlet in Hollywood. The crew talked, someone leaked it, and now it's front-page news. Columbia Pictures is furious, not because Sinatra saved someone, but because he stopped production, cost them a day of shooting. Tens of thousands of dollars. Studio head Harry Cohn calls Fred Zinnemann. What the hell happened yesterday? Frank saved a kid's life. I don't care if he saved the Pope. We're on a schedule and a budget. You shut down an entire day because of one extra? Harry, the kid almost died. Kids die every day. We don't stop making movies about it. Zinnemann's voice goes cold. If you have a problem with how I run my set, fire me. Silence. Then, just get back on schedule. Click. Dial tone. But here's the thing. The public doesn't care about studio budgets. They care about heroes. And overnight, Frank Sinatra becomes one. Fan mail floods in. Hundreds of letters. Thank you for being brave. You're a real man. We need more people like you. Sinatra reads a few, then puts them away. Because he doesn't want to be a hero. He just did what anyone should have done. But the media won't let it go. Reporters show up on set, asking questions. Frank, how does it feel to save a life? Would you do it again? Are you worried about the studio's reaction? Sinatra refuses every interview. No comment. I'm here to make a movie. Fred Zinnemann watches this. The way Sinatra deflects, the way he minimizes, and he realizes something. Frank Sinatra's been so beaten down by the industry by failed marriages, lost contracts, public humiliation, that he doesn't know how to accept praise anymore. He only knows how to survive. One night, after shooting, Zinnemann pulls Sinatra aside. "Frank, can we talk?" "About what?" "About what you did on the beach." "I don't want to talk about it." "I know, but I need you to hear something." Sinatra lights a cigarette. "Okay, talk." Zinnemann chooses his words carefully. "I've directed a lot of actors, big stars, legends, and most of them, they're performers, on camera and off. They play roles, even when they think they're being real." "What's your point?" "My point is, you're not like that. What you did on that beach, that wasn't acting. That wasn't for the cameras. That was real. And it reminded me why I cast you in this movie." Sinatra looks at him. "You cast me because I work cheap." "No, I cast you because I saw something in you. Something the studios forgot. Heart, courage. The kind of man who doesn't just play a hero, who is one." Sinatra doesn't respond, just smokes, thinking. Zinnemann continues. "This movie is going to change your career, Frank. I can feel it. And when people see it, they're not just going to see an actor. They're going to see the man who jumped into the ocean to save a stranger. And that's going to mean something. Or they'll forget. And it won't matter. It'll matter. Trust me." 8 months later, From Here to Eternity premieres. It's a massive hit. Critics love it. Audiences love it. And in March 1954, Frank Sinatra wins the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. On stage, holding the Oscar, he thanks the cast, the crew, Fred Zinnemann, but he doesn't mention Miguel Santos, doesn't mention the beach, doesn't mention the day he almost died saving someone. Because to Frank Sinatra, that wasn't heroism. That was just being human. And maybe that's the most heroic thing of all. But here's what nobody knew. What happened to Miguel Santos after that day? He went back to Hawaii, back to his life, working odd jobs, trying to support his family. The $200 Sinatra paid him for that one day of shooting. It fed his family for 2 months. But Miguel never forgot, and he kept his promise. He learned to swim properly, took lessons at the YMCA in Honolulu every week for a year, and in 1955, 2 years after the incident, Miguel became a lifeguard at the same beach where he almost drowned. Halona Cove, his first save. A tourist, German kid, 10 years old, caught in the same riptide that almost killed Miguel. Miguel pulled him out. No hesitation. Used the same diagonal technique Sinatra taught him. Let the current work. Don't fight it. The kid's parents were crying, thanking him. "You're a hero," Miguel smiled. "No, I'm just passing it on." Years later, 1971, Miguel's working at a hotel in Waikiki. He's a manager now, married, 3 kids, good life. Frank Sinatra's performing at the hotel, sold-out show. The whole island's buzzing. Miguel hears about it, debates whether to go. He hasn't seen Sinatra since 1953, 18 years. Does Frank even remember him? But he buys a ticket, goes to the show, sits in the back. Sinatra's on stage, still magnetic, still powerful, singing My Way. The crowd's on their feet. After the show, Miguel waits by the stage door. Security everywhere. He knows he won't get through, but then someone taps his shoulder. It's Sinatra's assistant. "Mr. Santos?" Miguel's shocked. "How do you know my name?" "Mr. Sinatra saw you in the audience. He wants to see you." Miguel follows him backstage, to Sinatra's dressing room. The door opens. Sinatra's sitting there, older now, 55 years old, but still Frank. He looks up, sees Miguel, and smiles. "Miguel, I'll be damned." Miguel doesn't know what to say. "Mr. Sinatra, I didn't think you'd remember." "Remember? Kid, I think about that day every time I see the ocean." They sit, talk, for an hour, about life, family, Hawaii, the movie. Miguel tells him, "I became a lifeguard because of you." Sinatra's eyes widen. You did? Yeah. Saved my first person. 2 years after you saved me. Used the same technique, the diagonal swim. Sinatra laughs. I made that up on the spot. I had no idea what I was doing. Well, it worked, and I've used it 20 times since. Sinatra goes quiet. 20 times? Yeah, 20 people, because you showed me how. Sinatra looks away, emotional. I just jumped in the water, Miguel. That's all I did. No, you showed me what it means to help someone, even when it's hard, even when you're scared, and I carried that with me every day. Sinatra stands, shakes Miguel's hand. You're the hero, not me. We both are. Sinatra pulls him into a hug, brief, but real. Thank you for keeping your promise, Frank says, for learning to swim. Miguel wipes his eyes. Thank you for jumping in. They part ways. Miguel goes back to his life. Sinatra goes back to his tour. But both of them carry that moment, that connection, that reminder that one act of courage can ripple forward, for years, for lives, 20 people saved. Because Frank Sinatra jumped into the ocean in 1953, and Miguel Santos learned what it means to be a hero. March 1953. The day Frank Sinatra stopped a movie to save a life. The story became legend, passed down through Hollywood. Crew members told it, extras remembered it, and over the years it grew, embellished, dramatized. Some say the waves were 20 feet. Some say Sinatra fought off a shark. Some say he saved 3 people, not one. But the truth is simpler and somehow more powerful. Frank Sinatra saw someone drowning, and he jumped in. That's it. No grand plan, no heroic speech, just action. And that action changed 2 lives, Miguel's and Frank's. Because From Here to Eternity wasn't just the movie that saved Sinatra's career. It was the set where he remembered who he was. Not a celebrity, not a comeback story, just a man, capable of courage, capable of sacrifice. Fred Zinnemann said it best years later in an interview. Frank Sinatra could be difficult, demanding, stubborn. But on that beach in Hawaii, I saw the real Frank, the one the world rarely got to see. And that's the Frank I'll always remember. May 1998. Frank Sinatra dies. News outlets run obituaries. The Voice, the chairman of the board. Oscar winner. But in Hawaii, at Halona Cove, Miguel Santos reads the news, and he cries. Not for the legend, not for the celebrity, but for the man who jumped into the ocean, who didn't have to, who risked everything for a stranger. Miguel's 64 now. Retired. His 3 kids are grown. One of them became a lifeguard too, because Miguel told them the story about the day Frank Sinatra saved his life and taught him what heroism really means. The lesson isn't complicated. It's not about fame or recognition. It's about seeing someone in trouble and choosing to act. Frank Sinatra jumped into the ocean in 1953, and the ripples from that moment are still spreading. Through Miguel. Through the 20 people Miguel saved. Through Miguel's son. Through everyone who hears this story and thinks, maybe I can do that too. That's heroism. Not the big moments, not the cameras, not the applause. Just one person, seeing another person in pain and refusing to look away. Frank Sinatra wasn't perfect. He had flaws, regrets, mistakes. But on that beach in Hawaii, he was exactly who we all hope to be when the moment comes. Someone who jumps in, even when the water's rough, even when nobody's watching, even when it would be easier to walk away.